Guys, within just the past 20 minutes, quite a heavy police presence right here at this scene. About a dozen officers just took to the streets. They want 3 federal judges to hear what some are calling pros and what others are calling cons of allowing 2 people of the same sex to marry. Breaking news now, where more than 100 firefighters respond to a massive fire in New York City. Now we're hearing the flames killed a 14-year-old vet in the line of duty. And I want you to take a look at this. The wind so fierce, it simply blew the steeple right off of the church. Today, repair crews on hand working to get it all under control. But the storm didn't stop there, right here across the street. And as they go line by line, all eyes are now watching to see if Virginia is poised to make some major changes. Did you say it's going to feel like the triple digits?
Yes.
Oh, just making sure I heard you correctly.
Oh, you heard me right.
I have spent the day pouring through court documents. One of the suspects is from New Jersey. The other lives right here in Chesterfield and has an extensive history when it comes to drug charges. So today I went straight to his door. Something about the beauty of the human spirit always does your heart good. That's all the time we have this evening, but we'll see you back here tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Have a good evening. Today, Richmond police are canvassing this Southside apartment complex, alerting neighbors of recent crime trends. It follows 3 straight days of violent crimes all across the city.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
No comfort could ease this grieving mother's tears.
Why you do that? Come on.
Overnight, someone shot and killed her 25-year-old son, Trey L. Johnson, outside of the Chippenham Place apartments.
Whoever killed my son, please come forward. You took someone I really, really love.
The death is one of 3 in as many days in a violent week in Richmond. It started Sunday when shots rang out in the 2000 block of Fairfield Avenue. Monday, 2 people were shot outside a South Richmond convenience store, bullets killing 26-year-old Dominique Mangrum. Then on Tuesday, someone shot and killed 47-year-old Jay Wood in an alley on North 21st Street, just hours before Johnson was gunned down.
This is a social problem. It's not a school problem. It's not a police problem. It's a social problem within our communities.
One leaders with Citizens Against Crime want addressed as a response to the growing violence. They're holding a prayer vigil Friday.
We're hoping that folks will come out, that they will bring candles, and we want to pray with that family. But we're going to also be praying for all of the families.
Families like the one mourning this young father's death.
He was a sweet person. He just stayed to himself. Why did you take my baby? Why? Why?
There have been no arrests in any of these cases, but in some of them, police say they have strong leads. We'll keep you posted. That's the latest from the South Side. Brent Solomon, NBC 12. Prince George police tell me that Petersburg officers called them for help with a traffic stop right here at this very scene. That's when a teenager found himself in a confrontation with a cop. Heated moments at the Petersburg East Apartments. K-9 officers and suspects in handcuffs found crowds eagerly watching. Police tried to break up the bystanders.
Get inside now. Inside. Inside, you quit all you want to.
19-year-old Devin Thomas was capturing it all on his cell phone. That's when another officer approached.
How old are you? Huh? How old are you?
I'm 19.
19?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's when the video flips. Thomas claims he was forced to the ground.
What you doing, man? I ain't doing wrong. So somebody struck me in the side of my head with the nightstick. And I just had blood in my eyes, so I couldn't see nothing no more. I was looking down the rest of the video.
As he walked away, bloodied and bruised, the teen was arrested, charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest.
Move! Now! Move! Get inside!
Attorney Steve Benjamin took a close look at the video.
I can't imagine any situation where the police can order a bystander to stop taking their picture or making a video recording.
He says based on the cell recording, we don't know whether officers used excessive force, but he says it is legal to record in public. In fact, he encourages it when necessary.
We can all think of encounters between police and citizens that we probably never would have believed possible but for the existence of a video recording.
Prince George Police have cleared its officers of any wrongdoing as Petersburg Police continue to investigate. None of its officers are on leave following the altercation.
After he did it, he whispered in my ear, now record that B. I don't want them to get away with this one.
And as officers continue their investigation here, we will keep you posted on each new development. That's the very latest from Petersburg. I'm Brent Solomon for NBC 12. Who wants to live like this? That's what a Chesterfield family is asking after their upstairs floor cracked. It happened after a mother was getting her son ready for school. Now we're getting a look at the aftermath and taking their concerns to the landlord.
I was standing up and I was giving my son a shower and my feet fell right through the hole. It was like a movie. I was just standing there and then I just dropped.
It's a memory Katrina Vaughn and her son wish they could forget.
He was like, "Mommy."
While giving her boy a bath before school, the bathroom floor suddenly gave way.
My feet dangling in the living room. You can see the toilet in the tub. And my feet were down here and my head was upstairs. I had scooted myself up and pulled myself out, and my son was terrified, screaming and crying.
She went to the emergency room for pain and is now left with bruises. Right after the incident, Sterling Management transferred the family into another unit. But as you can see, even this apartment is in need of major repairs. The kitchen sink is not yet installed. One of the bathrooms isn't usable, and hot water goes in and out.
And I had to take my shower at 3:30 Monday morning to go to work, freezing cold water.
I went to the leasing office 9 miles away from the apartments.
You know, we're a small family business, and we try to address all of our maintenance concerns.
Joshua Builder says the tenants are his customers and he wants them to feel safe. I asked him about that gaping hole.
Unless we get a report from the tenant, we don't know.
A report saying what?
Or, you know, unless they report it into our office or to our maintenance staff.
What? Report what, though?
That there are issues with their apartment.
How would they know that their floor is on the verge of falling?
If there's a soft spot on the floor, I mean, these are wood floors. It's not like it just kind of collapsed. I mean, there would have had to been some wearing down of this space.
For them to act like this was our fault, that it's not theirs, it's just crazy.
Oh, that could have been my baby. He would have went all the way through.
The family says an apartment agent reminded them they're still in a lease for 5 more months. So we asked that manager if he would consider an exception, especially after all of this. And he said they would. That's the latest from Chesterfield. I'm Brent Solomon for NBC 12. Good Sunday morning to you. Thank you for waking up with 12 News today. I'm Brent Solomon. Your time is 9 o'clock. Feels pretty good outside, but a little warmer than it's felt the past few mornings, right, Sam?
Yeah, just a little warmer, a few minutes.
All right, Sam, see you shortly. We start this morning with breaking news. We've just learned from officers a driver ran off the road, smashed into a barrier wall, and went flying from a motorcycle. This was the scene of that deadly accident on Interstate 95 near Bells Road around 2 this morning. It all happened just after midnight, causing major backups for most of the night. Right now, all lanes are open and traffic is flowing smoothly. We're also tracking breaking news in Henrico, where police are investigating a late-night shooting. Crews told our photographer they found the victim shot in the leg this morning. The shooter is still on the loose. The victim was rushed to VCU Medical, and we hear she will be okay. The shooting happened just before midnight near Forrester Court, close to the Henrico-Richmond border. If you know anything, give Crime Stoppers a call at 780-1000. Just into our newsroom, we've gotten word from the Culpeper County Sheriff's Office. Officers have nabbed a suspect who was on the run since Monday. According to the Daily Progress, Horace Owens Jr. broke into a home, demanded money, and brutally attacked a mother and her teenage son. Police say they were able to catch up with the suspect after getting a tip. Owens faces a long list of charges, including abduction, breaking and entering, and assault.
Real-time traffic.
Traffic Center.
Thank you, Tracy. Developing now, a man will be waking up behind bars after spending much of the weekend trying to get away from Chesterfield police. Officers say they have apprehended a man accused of grand larceny and breaking and entry charges, but they haven't identified him just yet. Many of you reached out to us through our Facebook page about a heavy police presence in Matoaka. We did some investigating. We're told early parts of that investigation started in Matoaka, but the suspect was nabbed in Chester around 11 last night. We are getting new details on a story we first told you about on 12 News today. A teenager is recovering after a pack of dogs attacked her while she was swimming. Apparently, this isn't the first time there's been a problem with that dog pack.
Over the last,
Madison County Sheriff Eric Weaver says at least 4 dogs attacked the 16-year-old girl while she was swimming in the Robinson River on Monday. The sheriff says the dogs bit her several times.
I actually saw the juvenile yesterday in length and pretty deep.
We hope she gets better. Deputies know who the dogs belong to, but they're waiting to complete their investigation before they press any charges. This morning, a community in Emporia will be worshiping at an unfamiliar place as firefighters pinpoint the exact cause of a fire that ripped through their historic church. Investigators tell NBC 12 no one was physically hurt when the fire destroyed part of Calvary Baptist. But emotions ran high as members of that congregation watched fire crews work to save as much of the church as possible. Curtis McLeod has the very latest from Emporia. Thank you, Curtis. Now, today's services are set to take place at Veterans Memorial Park behind the post office. We're just getting started on 12 News today. Some scary moments for a Virginia woman taking a jog. A man tries to attack her from his bicycle. Up next, the newly released police sketch of the suspect. Also, Richmond police want to show that the community is really fed up with violence. Coming up, new details on how police are pushing for change.
And wherefore art thou reign?
And be sure to follow and like us on social media to stay on top of the day's headlines. We are always up to the minute, the very minute you're up.